We are trying to get, there are a few problems we're having with our links today. So we're also going to be joined by Mr. Amar Singh in a short while from now. He's head advisory at Angel Broking, but we're having a problem with all our Bombay lines at the moment. He has 2 sells and 1 buy. Now this is interesting. The buy one first, because he has a buy on Infosys. So I'm going to talk about the buy first. Let's get that one out. Infosys, he's saying that he expects the target to be about 150, buy it within the range of 117 to 125 with a stop loss of 1004. So he has a buy on a company which is going to give numbers out tomorrow. 2 sells, one is Bank of Baroda in the futures, Bank of Baroda futures. That's what he's saying should be sold, and BOB futures is the one. So target is 157 and the stop loss there is 166.70. That's the cash market number that we're showing you right now. IRB Infra futures again. This one is another futures call, and here the target is 235. This is a sell. And all right, I do have Mr. Singh right now, so I'll tell him to give us the logic behind his calls. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Singh. Because of the delay, I wanted our viewers to get a sense of what you were doing, what your views are. But just take us through them once again. I've told them that you have 2 sells, Bank of Baroda futures, IRB Infra future, and a buy on Infosys. So let's start with the buy. You think that, is this a event-led buy that you're talking about? You're betting on an event?
Yeah, actually, looking at Infosys, I would say it's more of a technical buying, because we are seeing some positive side on the downside, and 1000 looks to be supported currently, and also there's a double bottom formation. So from a short-term perspective, maybe we could see the level today itself. So Infosys, as it is, could be a buy intraday in the range of 1017 to 1025 with a stop loss of 1004 and a target of 1050.
And you have 2 sells. Again, what are the charts telling you? These are both in the futures, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Overall, we are seeing selling pressure on both in Bank of Baroda and IRB Infra, because higher levels we are witnessing profit booking and also selling pressure. So at higher levels, one can sell this stock. Bank of Baroda in the range of 162.50 to 164.50 with a stop loss of 166.7 and a target of 157. These are to be sold in the futures. And IRB Infra, they are also both are forming similar patterns. That means on higher side we are seeing selling pressure, and upside seems to be capped. So IRB Infra futures is also a sell at 243.50 to 245.50 with a stop loss of 250.20 and a target of 235.
Okay, I'm going to just hold on there, gentlemen. I'm going to take our viewers through some of the stocks that are in the news at the moment, and I'll start off with IndusInd Bank, which came out with its numbers while the markets were shut. And the numbers are pretty strong, actually. IndusInd Bank more or less met what the markets expected. Its net interest income is up about 33.5%, profit up almost 26%. There was a range within which profits were expected about 28%, some said, and some said 25%. So it's in that middle of that range. Operating income is up about 27%, and it's I think the NPA itself is provisions are up about 35.5%. Net interest margins are up 12 basis points. That's what the consensus was, between 10 to 12, 10 to 13 basis points net interest margin improvement. Loan growth of 26% strong. Gross NPA, the consensus number, which is an average, was about 0.92%. It's come actually lower than that. It's about 0.9%. Net NPA, I think the consensus number was, again, this is an average, 0.38%. It's very close to that, 0.4%. Fee income has improved. Now, that is an important thing, because we've been seeing fee income not doing too well. Fee income up 23% for IndusInd Bank, and I'm going to take that up a little later. But let me look at Groww Finance as well. It's slightly below an estimate. It's stable numbers, but slightly below estimate. 17% improvement in net interest income, profit up about 20%. We're seeing provisions at about 9.1 crore. Loan growth of 22%, slightly below what was expected there. But the margins are actually better than what the markets expected, and this is because yields have turned positive. Yields have turned out to be higher. Blue Dart, logistics space, but of a very specific kind, that has actually had a weak quarter. Sales are up just 1.5%. And look at that, profit down 20%. And it's a 20.6% decline in profit. EBITDA down 19.1%. It's just 74 crore. Last time they had 92 crore last year. EBITDA margin has dropped by almost 300 basis points. There you see 11.3% versus 14.1%. I'll also take you through some stocks that are going to be in the news today. Let's start off with Cipla. The US FDA has closed its inspection. So formal inspection of the Indore plant has been formally closed. They've been given a report called an EIR, which is called an Establishment Inspection Report, which was on good manufacturing practices. And Credit Suisse, which has come out with a report on this, says that it reduces a key overhang on the stock. And now you can move ahead and understand what is happening, because the Indore plant is a big plant and it was being inspected, and Cipla remains one of their top picks. What are the other stocks that are in news? KC, it's got a new order of about 1,192 crores, almost 1,200 crore. That's going to be in the news. There's IL&FS Engineering, 162 crore order pipeline contract from GAIL. There's Sagar Cement. They're going to hold their meeting on October 19th, and they're planning to raise funds to expand grinding capacities and add power plant in Mattampalli. Grasim, shareholders have given a nod to raise the FII limit from 30% from 24%. Some activity expected there. Bajaj Electricals, they're going to shut down their bulbs and tube light manufacturing unit in UP, because they're mostly into now rebranding and selling LED bulbs. And that's what Bajaj Electricals has been doing, because that's the big business and getting into the lighting business. All right, the markets are about to open any second now. Let's just see what's happening in the big cap space first, and then we're going to go through individual months. All right, we've had the opening. Straight away, it's a sea of red, and Hindalco is the big loser. Tata Steel down 1%, ICICI Bank down, ITC is up 0.25%, SBI down about 0.8%, BOB, Bank of Baroda down about 0.8% at the moment. Cipla, as we said, that is going to be in the news. That establishment inspection report from the US FDA. Cipla is the biggest gainer at the moment in the Nifty space, 2.3% up. HCL Tech up 0.7%. Infosys, now the buy call that came in from Mr. Singh, that is playing out already, 0.5%. And let me look at what the day high today was, 1035. So we have still a little bit to go. Now, Hero MotoCorp up about 0.6%. Asian Paints now has come up 0.6%. ITC flattish, but NTPC is down. Idea Cellular is down. HDFC, there are some technical sell calls there. Tata Motors, DVR down about 2%. IndusInd Bank, strong quarter. We mentioned that they've met what the markets were doing, 1.4%. Let's try and see what's happening to Grove Finance, and that's give us an idea about how these two finance companies are being treated by the markets at the moment. IndusInd Bank up about 1 point. Grove Finance, well, the markets are not unhappy. It has performed slightly below estimate, but yields have gone up, so its margins have improved. Blue Dart, bad quarter, disappointing quarter, and you're seeing that happen, 3.5% down on Blue Dart right now. Wipro is down, and HCL Tech is up at the moment. Okay, let's bring in some more stocks in news. KC International, we said about almost a 2,000 crore order that it's got. It's up about 2% at the moment. There's IL&FS Engineering, 4.5% up because of that 160 crore GAIL pipeline contract that it's getting. These are the two stocks that we've looked at. In terms of Grasim, it's down. Shareholders have given a nod to increase FII limit from 24% to 30%. Bajaj Electricals, it is shutting down those two plants. And you suddenly see it was down 2/3%, it's suddenly up 1%. Deepak Fertilizers down 2%, IBH Finance down 2.6%. So what we are also going to do, we are going to take the top turnover, the number on the NSE with the highest turnover at the moment. And we have Sunil High Tech Engineering. Let me try and get out what the news was there. I think there's a 1:1 bonus that's being given out by Sunil High Tech at the moment. So that's up 8.6%. I'll just try and pull up that piece of news for you in just a couple of seconds. What else do we have? in terms of top. Cipla is the top, one of the top traded counters, 2%. IndusInd Bank is up 1.7%. Infosys now moving closer to 1040 level. The day high is 1040. Technically strong, that's what Mr. Amar Singh said. HCL Tech up 1%. Jubilant Life Sciences up almost 1%. Asian Paints is up 0.6%. Perhaps it's the ahead of in the middle of festival season. Hero MotoCorp flattish, that's the picture. But if you look at the top 50 highest traded counters at the moment, out of that only 10 are green. The biggest loser is India Bulls Housing Finance, down about 2.6%. GAIL down 2%. UPL down 2%. Hindalco down 2%. Aurobindo Pharma down 1.8%. Sun TV down 1.6%. So a lot of trades happening here, a lot of high turnover. Reliance Industries are down about 1.6%. And as you mentioned, that Sunil High-Tech, let's pull that up again. A lot of volumes there. That 1:1 bonus share that I mentioned, that's going to be issued by Sunil High-Tech. 9.2% up at this moment as we speak. So I just want to take a look once our wall settles down at what has happened to the Nifty, 8637. So that 8650 number didn't hold and it's moved down to our third support that we were talking about. It did open around that 8650 number that is 8653, which is that Fibonacci retracement that we are talking about in the short term, last month's high and low. But now it's dropped to 8638, which was the indication that we got from the SGX Nifty. All right, all our guests are ready at the moment. I think I also have Gaurang Shah. So I did, Gaurang, thank you for joining us. We had that bit of a problem in the line in the morning. I read out your picks, but tell us, you have two IPOs. I mean, two things which have just listed.
Yeah, so morning, Anil. I believe technology sometimes have its own glitches, so no hard feelings. But yeah, on the IPO of IPRU and RBL Bank, one got a tremendous response. The other one did manage to get 10 times the subscription, but post-listing we saw some amount of downtake. Now, if you look at the last 5 years performance of RBL Bank, it has been par excellence, and if they just have to replicate what they have done or even improvise what the management has given verbatim, our sense is that this particular stock could possibly find itself getting re-rated purely on basis of improvement scope of earnings the way they have done for the last 5 years. The only overhang on this particular counter RBL Bank is that out of the 197 plus branches, 46-47% of them are in Maharashtra. But again, over there the positivity on it is that the management is wanting to open up branches and also scale up their franchisee model. In terms of the ratios and asset quality, well, there is no question mark. They are quite comfortable. And my belief is that the loan book growth is likely to stay on the higher side. Yes, there might be concerns as far as the corporate loan book is concerned because of the concentration of large number of branches in Maharashtra and not anywhere else. When a minuscule presence, but yeah, we believe that consistent performance will drive RBL Bank. And even post listing, if you go to see, 280, 320, 280, 320 seems to be the zone where it kind of consolidate, moves up when it goes low. Then again you see some profit booking. So I think 300 or sub 300 level will be a very comfortable zone to get into RBL Bank. From a long term perspective, our target is 385. ICICI Pru, well, one of its kind entity, recent listing, great pedigree, great scope for penetration in terms of the population of India and the percentage of people getting insured. My sense is that we are going to see renewed effort by the management to get a larger market share. Again, post listing we saw some disappointment, and even at the time of listing we were of the opinion this is not the paper that you should subscribe for from a listing gain point of view. From a 1 year plus time horizon, we are looking at a target of somewhere close to about 440 to 430. the reason why I'm saying is 1 year plus time horizon, because they will need to have enough time on hand to scale up their business. And of course, how they are going to do is going to be very, very important in terms of their strategy. And of course, in terms of their presence, they've got almost 1,20,000 plus advisors. They've got 10,000 plus employee strength. Their claim settlement ratio is the highest in its private sector insurance, that is close to about 94-95%. And my belief is that, again, closer to 300, 320 zone I'm talking about on ICICI Pru will be a very comfortable zone to get in. Again, 1.5 year plus, I think it should not be difficult for iPru to scale up to 400 plus levels. 440 is the target, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, just hold your thought, and I'm going to just pull up the Nifty for our viewers, because as we said that it's down about 1% at the moment, 0.8%. Mr. Malkan, the Nifty, is it just playing catch up right now? Because it was shut for 2 days. The US markets have corrected in those 2 days by almost 1%. In fact, 3 overnight trading days. Is that just catch up right now?
Yeah, I think so. It is catching up with those markets, and as well as there is kind of, if you trade Nifty in the last few days, it has got into a range of 8,800 and the low which was made on that expiry on those surgical strike day. So that is the range which we are looking at right now. Till the time we don't break that low, we don't see further downside in Nifty. But stock specific, of course, there are many ideas where you can go long as well as short.
Okay, just want to go to Mr. Singh. 2 of your stock calls, actually, futures calls, are actually very close to hitting the targets. I think on Bank of Baroda futures, you have a call of about 157. It hit a day low of 158.65. And on IRB infrastructure futures, your target is 235. It hit 236 right now. So, a good call for our viewers at the moment. As of now, they're making money if they've taken those calls. Infosys is also up. It's not reached that target of 1040, but the day high is 1050, but the day high today is above 1050 on Infosys. I just want to go back to IndusInd Bank. Let me start with Mr. Chopra. IndusInd Bank, are you happy with the numbers if you've seen them in details, or are you waiting to analyze them a little bit more, Mr. Chopra?
Well, I think that the numbers have been good. Any NPA which is below 1% in such market circumstances is good. The loan book growth has been very consistent. And I think that the profitability which the bank has shown in this quarter is also very good. I think 26% jump is something which, in these circumstances is stupendous. So I would say that this is a bank which can be invested into with a longer term perspective, and any decline in the prices should be taken as an opportunity to buy into the stock.
Let me get a technical view on it. Mr. Chopra, do you have a technical view on IndusInd Bank? IndusInd.
Yeah, so I would say that the stock has the capability of reaching 1500, but again, in such market circumstances, I have been expecting a crack in the market, and most probably, if at all we see a crack in the market, the stock might also slide down. So my take is that we might find it below 1200, and it would be a great opportunity to buy into the stock. So technically also the stock seemingly looks good for a medium to long term target of 1500.
What about you, Mr. Singh? What do the charts tell you at this moment technically, IndusInd Bank?
Yeah, overall, IndusInd Bank is right now in a consolidation and profit booking, what we are witnessing. Because on the upside, 1255 to 1260 is a major level of resistance, wherein anywhere the market would reach that, we'd see selling pressure coming on the upside. And on the downside, 1170 to 1180, that is a major level of support. I don't see IndusInd Bank really breaking this range in the short term. But yes, trading consistently above 1255, 1260, then we could see the next leg of rally in IndusInd Bank, not before that.
Okay, Mr. Malkan, Grow Finance, what would you do with that? Do you track that?
Sorry, I'm not tracking that as of now.
All right, let me ask Mr. Singh, do you track Grow Finance? The numbers when I look at the fundamental side, I'm going to go to Gaurang about that for both IndusInd and Group Finance. But technically, what is it looking like?
On the technical front, it's not likely to trade above 370 levels. It's currently around 358, 360 levels, because that's a major level of resistance which I see it around 368, 370 levels. So if that level is breached, then we could see a next phase of rally. Overall, the trend definitely for Group Finance remains strong. On the downside, 345 to 340 is a level of support.
Okay. Gaurang, you know, when I look at IndusInd Bank and one looks at the fee income growth of almost 25%, that seems to be something which one hasn't seen in the recent past, because this seems to be a positive development.
Yes, and I think this is one mid-cap private sector bank, not only for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, but for the last 2 years has been giving a fantastic and a much better than expected number. And in fact, yesterday the numbers which we saw from IndusInd Bank, you know, 30% uptake as far as their deposit rate goes. That GNPL, I think, were down by marginally from 0.91 to 0.90. Net NPAs are further on the lower side. Comfort zone definitely being there. Concern as far as the CV segment loan book is concerned, I think it is overdone. And nowadays, Onion, there is a new word which has come in terms of their loan exposure, which is called LAP, loan against property. Right. I don't know how one can possibly be so scared about this exposure, because I heard yesterday and even this morning about this loan against property and how this could possibly create a whole lot of problem, not only for the banks but even for housing finance companies, because they are also involved in this LAP business. But let's give it to the bank and the management. I think they are quite capable of securing their loan against the underlying security. And I don't think that it is very prudent to only look at this LAP as a product. I think you should also look at the companies to which the loan has been given against this particular LAP loan book. So my sense is that
I'm saying, you're saying that the LAP you're saying that should be looked at closely, qualitatively for individual banks rather than as a general number. Absolutely.
Bang on it. So, you also have companies in the real estate pack, which have very huge credibility in terms of their loan, in terms of their execution, in terms of their debt or, virtually zero debt. And of course, their balance sheet being very, very strong. Some of them, in fact, we have a coverage in terms of Groj's Properties, Mahindra Lifespace, Oberoi Realty, Shobha Limited, Prestige Estates, to name a few. But coming to IndusInd Bank, well, we've already seen upgrades coming in, 1300, 1400, 1500, various targets upgraded. And my belief is that if you have the environment turning around, being more conducive, you have these cuts coming through. We already saw one, possibly Jan, Feb, March 2017, you'll see another 25 bips. That's what we believe as a brokerage house. We'll add on to the incremental positivity. And of course, government is doing its bit in terms of reviving the capex, whereby you will see the corporate loan book side of these banks also grow. So maybe at current levels, you should start buying it. Don't go 100%. Since markets is undecisive, we are seeing a range bound, and by and large, the view on the street is that we would be possibly heading lower. So if you get that lower market and you see IndusInd Bank correcting, I think it will definitely be an opportunity to buy. Let me give a disclosure on record that we do have a coverage on IndusInd Bank.
So if I compare Group Finance numbers and IndusInd Bank numbers, right? Group Finance slightly disappointing. I know the consensus is that it's stable, but I don't think NBFCs now anyone wants stable numbers, because the kind of value price they've been paying for them. So would you say sell NBFCs, buy private banks?
No, I think again it's an stock specific approach. You can't take a basket approach over here. Well, Group Finance, of course, we did have a coverage. Our target is in place. We've not come out with any reviewed note on Group Finance. But if you're speaking about HFC segment amongst the NBFC universe, LIC Housing, Canfin Homes, Diwan Housing, DHFL, and the father of all these companies in the sector, HDFC Limited, all these are under our buy coverage, and we are also advising at current levels. Even the microfinance companies, we like names like SKS Microfinance, now known as Bharat Financials, Ujjivan Financial, a recent listing, and Equitas, we have coverage on all these three names. And the diversified play in the NBFC, we have coverage on Reliance Capital, MLM Finance. And my sense is that as we go forward, consumer loan book is going to grow to a great extent. And if you, even Bajaj Finance, as a matter of fact, is on our positive coverage. So you need to be very stock specific. You can't take a blanket outlook and possibly, take a buy or a sell call on this particular counters. And some of these names are quite credible in terms of their earnings visibility.
Okay, Mr. Chopra, Cipla, what would you do with it? That EIR has come, the inspection of the Indore plant has been shut now. Credit Suisse says that, okay, that's the end of the problems. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think the problems are far from over. We are heading into US elections, and what the policy would be on pharma companies and IT companies, we have to wait and watch. So I think that pharma is at a very precarious situation right now. I would say that we can probably stay away for some time, although it's a great consumption story. And the valuations also have corrected to some extent, but I think that there is still room for further correction in the prices. So, stock specific names where we have already seen a great cut, probably we can see an upside there. Probably my take would be Marksans Pharma is one of the companies. But again, the large cap ones, I would say that there is some space still left for correction. And I would wait for another 10-15% the downward prices in all the major pharma companies, and then probably we can recommend a buy.
Technically, Mr. Malkan, Cipla, what would you do with that? In terms of the charts, what is it showing?
I think Cipla right now is at an important support of around 560, 565. So I think there is good support, and overall the weekly and monthly trend are strong. So I think we can look for a buy opportunity with the stop of 550 and look for targets of around 600, 620 for the short term.
Okay, this is a short term call. What is the duration, trading window?
We will look at around 2 weeks time.
2 weeks time. All right, we have to have held you up for a long time today, slightly longer than we promised you. Thank you all, gentlemen. But before that, one by one, I just need to take your disclosures. Let me start with Mr. Chopra.
Whatever stocks we have talked about today, I do not have any personal holdings, and our clients must be having these stocks.
Mr. Singh?
The stocks that I have recommended today, I do not have any holdings in those stocks.
All right, Mr. Malkan?
The stocks I recommended today, I do not have any personal positions in them.
Okay, and Gaurang, you usually give your disclosures as you move along, but in case you missed any.
Well, on all the stocks that have been discussed and recommended, no personal holding, and definitely these stocks could be a part of our clients' portfolio.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. We're going to take a short break at the moment. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We'll show you, Anisha will be joining us with some of the previews on those tech big cap numbers, Infosys and TCS. Stay with us.